Everyone, buongiorno from Parma, and the Stadio Sergio Lanfranchi is the second match of this Guinness Women's Six Nations weekend is set to get underway shortly. Italy, losers to France in Paris last weekend against Scotland, who themselves endured a tough afternoon in Edinburgh against England. 84 points shipped between them last week. We can expect a tighter affair. England will stride into Bordeaux then to defend the Grand Slam after that huge win against Ireland. Wales at home tomorrow to France. Today's teams each in search of a second win in this year's championship. And as we look at the table, we've plenty to play for with Rugby World Cup and WXV qualification on the line, alongside the bragging rights within the championship itself, of course. But look at that points difference for England, plus 208. But it is third place. It's the ideal target, and these last rounds providing quite the shootout for that spot. Suggestion of a bit of moisture leading into this one in the air, just to make the Scots feel at home, no doubt. But has been a lovely mild spring day so far. We just avoided a huge storm, a momentary power cut, but everything is back on track. As far as our wind predictor, well, it's very much leaning towards the home side by 2-1 pretty much. Scotland keen to disprove the data. Italy hoping that the home crowd will roar them home. As you can see, the pitch is ready, and those are quite the set of badges, aren't they? Scotland, of course, who, well, secured just their third victory in 15 years against Italy in the championship when they played them at the Hive in Edinburgh last year. The top tackler, top carrier that day is sidelined with injury this year, but Scotland's loss is our gain. Delighted to say good afternoon in commentary to Jade Conkle. How are you?
I am very well. All the better for being here alongside you.
Well, that's very kind. Well, we can see Lou, no doubt the Macmillan fan club are in. And we've seen certainly a few of the friends and family who've travelled over. You had the chance to bump into a few of your teammates last night. How are they feeling? How are they looking forward to this?
Really excited. I think the Italian match is always an exciting opportunity to go out there and play, and you can see that everyone was super excited to get going, and I think we're in for a spectacle today.
Yeah, we certainly are. Much tighter affair expected, as we mentioned, for both of these sides. Scotland only having the beating of Italy 3 times in the last 15 years. As far as Italy are concerned, well, 6 of their previous 13 home wins have come against Scotland. But here we have the entrance. 3 players earning 50 caps today. On the left of your picture, Veronica Medea, Isabella Locatelli. And for Scotland, Rona Lloyd, the honour of leading the teams out. A special moment for them all to celebrate together. Italy were largely spectators in the first half in Paris last weekend, but the impact of the bench saw them spark into life. Mental approach will be quite different this week, aside from, of course, the handful of changes to their personnel. Captain back and Elisa Giordano returning from a calf injury. They've kept her in cotton wool with the target of these 2 games. Scotland at home, Wales in Cardiff. And as for the Scots, hugely excited. They are largely brushing that result against England under the carpet. 7 wins in a row leading into the championship, building up a head of steam, plenty of confidence from having taken part and won WXV2. Italy, of course, who were champions of their 3 matches there as well. This is almost seeing a bit of a playoff between the 2 who finished top. But a reminder now that there is no time for any prejudice, bigotry or hate in any form, be that online, on the field, off the field, or anywhere in the world we live. Rugby priding itself on its core values of sportsmanship, respect. Our diversity is our strength, it's nice to believe. The championship keen to underline this core message.
Rugby alongside all 6 nations stands against any form of discrimination, racism, hate speech or abuse on the pitch, in the stands, online or in society. Discrimination and hate has no place in our sport, or the world will all maybe. See it, hear it, read it, experience it, report it.
Well, a core message well shared, and Well, now there will also be a poignant moment to mark the passing of Fabio Trentin, who passed away at 65, was a former Petrarca Padova player who played for Italy under Pierre Villepreux in the late 70s. And it will also be marked for Pauline Wassell, mother of Scotland international Emma Wassell, who herself was withdrawn ahead of last week's match, and to whom, alongside the family and friends of Fabio Trentin, we offer our sincerest condolences.
Alla sua famiglia vanno le più profonde condoglianze del Presidente federale innocenti, del Consiglio e dell'intera struttura federale.
All right, it is time for the anthems in a moment. Il Canti degli Italiani, but first, Flower of Scotland. Wonderful to have both anthems accompanied by the bands. Let's look at the teams then. The Italian lineup, a healthy amount of tinkering with the side since last week's loss in Paris. Tirani returning from concussion in 3 changes in the pack. Captain Giordano's long-awaited return, pushing Sara Cinesi into the second row. Scorbini returns at 7, with Arrighetti shifting to 6. In the backs, Francesca Granzotto comes onto the wing as double try scorer last week. Dinka joins Rigoni in the centres. That 50th cap for Veronica Medea, one of 3 starters who plays her rugby in France. And it's 4 changes for Scotland too, as Brian Eason opts for Molly Wright to begin the game in the front row ahead of Leah Bartlett. He also hands a first start of the championship to 22-year-old Eva Donaldson alongside Lou McMillan in the second row. Rachel Malcolm continues as captain with the number 6 on the back. Looking into the back line then, Fran McGee getting a first start of the year on the left wing with Rona Lloyd. Another hoping today is a special one, bringing up that 5-0 on the right. And Chloe Rowley needs just 1 more try for Scotland to reach the 100-point mark. For the replacements, well, for Italy, Isabella Locatelli will hope to reach 50 caps when she comes on, and Sara Manini is the other headline. A debut for the youngest player to potentially feature in this year's championship if she makes it on.
There's still probably about 30 seconds, and then there's a countdown on the screen.
So Scotland in position, ready to get the game started as Helen Nelson, Loughborough Lightning player, watches on. Elisa Dinka, those 2 tries late on last week against France. It is all very nicely poised. Jade Conkle, a word on your pal Rona Lloyd.
Rona is one of the most passionate athletes you will ever come across, and that is both on and off the field. She gives absolutely everything in the Scotland shirt, and it's a well-deserved 50 caps for her today.
Okay.
So our referee, Maggie Cogger-Orr, is from New Zealand. It's her 16th test in charge. These two are nuzzled up against each other in terms of the World Rugby World Rankings. Italy 6th, Scotland 7th. Their 25th meeting. Let's get this party started. Scotland get the game underway. First job, easy take from Duca. Stefan already wanting to ask questions by flinging the ball to Francesca Granzotto. Another one of the youngsters in this Italy side. She can play at scrum half. She's ultimately the scrum half cover, with Italy going with that 6-2 bench split, looking to try and meet fire with fire. And
Still in.
you can be fairly sure that the Scotland game plan this afternoon is going to be a little bit more centred around carrying, not trying to get too drawn in to the organised chaos that Italy like to play with. But fortunately for Chloe Rowley, her first carry has just resulted in a little nudge along the floor.
As long as you're on 8 feet, that's fine.
Again, you can already see the agility coming through Chloe Rowley, which I think we're going to see a lot of today.
Both teams just wait for the ball
before
we push.
Caught short there.
Okay, Mark's here.
Coming down for
Just
the first scrum.
I'll stand here.
97% success for Italy at this set piece. Only France have a better record. And that's how the weights look of the 2 packs. Not too much difference between them. 651 to 627.
Bind!
Stefan,
Set!
56th Six Nations appearance.
Up.
Not too bad for the 31-year-old.
We need more height on this side.
Yep.
Both sides, you're too low. Shoulders need to be above hips.
Yep.
Okay? More height.
Lana Skeldon.
Okay.
Perhaps a week last week she might not like to relive, but part of the question mark about this Scotland team this week is that bounce back ability. How much can they get back to those sorts of performances which we saw against Wales?
Bind! Set!
Who gets in this time? Medea, Rigoni. This pass, it's not going to bring Dinka onto the ball. Granzotto had come across, and now Muzzo. Italy at least do well to fire across and get the width as Tunasi carries, moving into the second row from the back row last week to make room for Elisa Giordano.
Ball's there, leave it,
just a second start in 12 months. But it's Scotland who have it. Managing to wrestle possession away back through that last breakdown.
Wait here, White.
Lisa Thompson Just looking to see what might have been on down that short side. Managed to keep the ball alive off the floor as well. Rory was there. Collisions the order of the day.
Off the foot.
As far as the Scots are concerned to begin with. Oh, but it was just lost forward by Lou McMillan from Helen Nelson. The knock-on advantage will be with Italy. Stefan. Ball released out the back. Medea up for Giordano. Well wrapped up in the tackle, but
there's no advantage
while Italy are continuing to go backwards, the referee says we'll just come back for the scrum from the knock-on.
What we're seeing so far from Scotland is you're seeing two people come into the tackles. They are trying to hold them up. They're trying to slow down their ball, forcing the turnovers as well. Again, you see a brilliant turnover here. Louise McMillan just gets hold of that ball. But brilliant work from Scotland there to really slow down the defence and actually have that fight to get the ball back.
You keep your head outside. Don't fight for space.
Giovanni Raineri watches on in the role since December 22.
Crouch! Bind!
Italy just with Granzotto
Set!
on this near side. Maggie Coggerall, referee, thought of bringing the whistle to the lips there, but Italy will strike off first phase, and Rigoni's look for the long one. Tried to thread it through to the wing. Could see what they were trying to do. Just the execution letting them down.
Yeah, here's the middle. Okay, this is the middle. So you take
you can see that look for space. They're wanting to stretch that Scotland defence from edge to edge, and that's what we're going to see a lot in this game. You know, the back three and Dinka included in that. They're going to want to run those meters. All three of them have the top 10 meters in the championship so far, so you're going to want to see them in a bit of space, and that's what they're going to aim for.
Yeah, interesting the amount of space that Elisa Dinka has had. And they've ended up moving her into 13, where arguably there will be less of that space for her to perform. But
wait.
we will see over the course of the match how that transpires. Ostuni Minuzzi takes the kick at the back for Italy from Scotland, and almost sensed the chance that the door was opening, but Lisa Thompson was very happy to close it forthwith. Lovely offload from Rigoni for her centre partner this afternoon, Elisa Dinka. Stefan, slightly lower one for Duca to take. 47th cap for Giordana Duca, the Herzegovina Rugby Padova player, a 30th Six Nations appearance, and then a second row partner will carry as well. Tunesi plays her rugby at Sale Sharks. She was offering Jade Conkle the odd recommendation of somewhere to find a bit of vegan food in Parma. Managed it too, didn't you? Well done.
It was delicious.
Rigoni dummied the kick, gave it a carry, managed to bounce her way nicely through. Now it's there for Medea. Italy haven't got too much room out here. Oh, it was right on the fingertips, but it was really well taken in the end. Granzotto, well, they say you should pass the ball out in front of somebody, but in fact Granzotto has then ended up getting isolated. Super work from Lisa Thompson, 59th cap for Scotland, GB7s. And those are the important turnovers for momentum shifts, Jade Conkle.
Absolutely, and we are seeing what Scotland brought in the first two rounds. Again, there was a 91.3% match average tackle completion in the first two rounds prior to that England match, and we've already seen that start in this game today. So a brilliant start from Scotland, and you can see Italy are trying to find those gaps, but Scotland are causing them lots of problems shutting down that space. Brilliant speed over the ball there from Lisa Thompson. She has a clear release, and again really causes trying to lift that ball and getting the penalty and getting more territory.
Yeah, Brian Easton talked about the fact it was a tactical change at half-time, bringing Lisa Thompson on last week.
Back.
Bringing experience, can give directness, but can distribute to help Scotland find an edge. I dare say it's more of the directness that we could probably expect to see from the Scots as Mattinson looks to go. Saraseye with the tackle.
Penalty only.
It is going to be penalty only because it was a little bit high.
High tackle.
It was a 64th minute red card a year ago for a dangerous tackle on the woman next to me that saw Saraseye sit out those last few minutes. Pleased to say you were able to come back onto the field.
I was, and it was the blossoming of our friendship, to be honest.
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Sarah Sayer. Boom. So Scotland.
I'm gonna go to the back, Tash.
Couple of penalties in succession. Getting change out of the Italian discipline and moving themselves into the 22.
I like that Scotland are opting for the line-outs because it is a place that they haven't seen much success so far in the tournament, but it shows that they've got confidence and they do back their ability, and I'm excited to see what happens.
Certainly gone better finding Rachel Malcolm. Only 6 out of 13 throws were successful for Lana Skeldon last week. And they look to try and keep it tight. Elisa Giordano on the near side in the red and blue scrum cap is asking the question of Maggie Cogerore as to how much she can get involved from the position she's in. Can't change her bind and come round to an offside position. But Mattinson looking to try and get the ball away. She's going to have to try and use it here. Oh, and there is going to be a penalty advantage being played. Scotland will look to try and play it. It's not the cleanest one for Rowley to be able to take. They're losing a number of meters.
You released your bind and came around. You let go of your bind, and that's why you had 2 hands on the ball. You were good until you let go of your outside bind, okay?
There we go. There's a clarification from Maggie Cogerore. Giordano may feel a little hard done by, but she was shifting her position.
You could see her eagerly looking at the ref like, am I allowed to do this? Am I allowed to do this? Well, no, you are not. And she was clear in that. You cannot let go of that bind. As soon as you change your bind, because the ball wasn't out, resulting in a penalty. And it's just, again, easy territory for Scotland to continue further up the pitch.
There we go. It's the change of that left arm. Super officiating. Skeldon. To the front.
Sack is good.
To Donaldson.
Play it, wait. Break away.
Scotland rumbling this round the front, sensing a chance to try and get there, but they've lost the ball. And it is just going to be the knock-on. Not quite able to convert the opportunity then, and the defensive effort being praised by the home fans.
Okay, yeah. I've seen the sack on the ball carrier as well, but I'll have a look. Knock on. Scrum.
Again, you could see that initial sack from the Italians. They've stopped that maul from forming, so ultimately it's a free, open tackle then for the Italians to take place. I think Scotland still thought because they broke off, they were part of a maul, but the ref had clearly stated that they'd broken off and that was open play.
Contact. Okay. How about that? Is good.
Francesca Scorbini on the right with the number 7 on the back.
Yeah, nice tackle. And
one of the 3 that plays a rugby in France, plays at SM Romagna. Former club of one, Jessie Tremouliere.
Okay.
Missed last week with injury, back in the side now.
Good? Yeah.
Just checking on the side. They're taking our first. Can we just watch that?
Yeah, I can come around. I did see a clear sack on the jumper themselves, but I'll...
Good to see the stands around the...
Yep, I can have a look. Sorry, it's over here, team. Here's the mark.
Sergio Lanfranchi.
Okay, time on.
Well populated. Had record crowds, of course, at the Hive against France. Scotland bringing in just over 5,500 and over 7,500 for that England clash. And we've had over 48,000 at Twickenham today. The Guinness Women's Six Nations.
Bind!
Getting used to breaking records now.
Sit!
Stefan, under plenty of pressure. Giordano knew she had to pick, and she's actually come away with good athleticism there. The number 8.
Tackle, release!
Tunisi's trying desperately to get that turned on the right side, and eventually
Use
will.
It.
Stefan coming down for the 50 capper. Scotland calling for the opportunity to find a bit of width here, and Thompson got the big fend out for Granzotto.
No.
Italy trying to get in and turn it over, but it is there for Mattinson. Nelson will send it through. Molly Wright will give them the central ruck position. They want to come back the way they came, though, and it's Alex Stewart rewarded with consistent selection. It's good work from Scotland to keep that ball alive and allow Emma Orr to tiptoe into the 22. Chloe Rowley, I think, has possibly been stood on. She was just hobbling a little bit, but now they get the call to go to the left once more, and Thompson was well supported. Members of the back line will help get over the ball and secure it. Sarah Sayer fancies a bite at that one, but won't stand a chance. It's Nelson once more. Then it finds its way to Belisle. This is better from Scotland. More consistency and more phase play. Then it's Emma Orr again. Debut in this championship against Wales 2 years ago, but really settling into that 13 shirt. Scotland again with McMillan, and then Nelson, and Thompson just loses it out the back a bit. And could it be on here as Dinker ducks the head into the tackle? For a moment, just wondered if there might be room on the wing.
Yeah.
Clearance kick has been made
Wonderful.
from outside the 22. And the assistant, Amber Stamp-Dunstan, will go back and mark it. But that was better from Scotland.
We'll put blue on the line.
Much better. I'd say we've really struggled to see the attacking threats of Scotland in previous games, but they've really come into their own in this game. And you know, the early bird catches the worm, and it's been a great start for Scotland. They're having two lines of attack. We're seeing more opportunities, both working left to right across the pitch, but also moving forward. It's not just going side to side. So you can see the game line, the intent, and the actual want to penetrate the line, which is brilliant. But Italy is making it difficult. You see them flying up the line. You see them trying to make the big hits, and they're making that attack really difficult for Scotland. But it's a really pretty even battle so far, and it's one that's been exciting to watch.
Yeah, it certainly has been pretty even, Stevens. They've not been shy of putting extra batteries in the PA system, have they?
Absolutely not.
Goodness, that was
So this is going to be the middle, and blue's going to be on the 22. When she's
It's
ready.
been absolutely bouncing in the stadium, and I wouldn't expect
So you're
anything
on the line.
less.
Okay, everybody off the field? Okay, time is on.
Scotland's fifth line out. Certainly an area that they have been practicing over the week. That will do. Comes down. Evie Gallagher. She's been another one of the really solid, impressive performers.
No clear release.
There's going to be a penalty advantage here because the release wasn't efficiently enough done by the Italians while the tackle was called.
Hold the mark for me, Amber.
Nelson. Donaldson. All working hard.
Yep.
Under the tackle of Rigoni to try and get that down. The advantage still on, so the little dig through will come from Nelson.
Advantage,
finds Ostuni Manuzzi, who then knocks it on inside her 22.
Still under advantage.
Mattinson's looking to try and get this ball back, and she will. Right.
No, not another, but still under. Yeah.
Clear out was made by Malcolm.
We'll come back.
It wasn't in time to stop the attempt by Arrighetti, but penalty advantage was always being played.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to see what Scotland are going to choose here. Will they opt for the post? Because they've been in the 22 quite a few occasions now. So will they opt to get the 3 points and then come across?
No stranger to tight occasions here either, are they? They're fond memories of beating Ireland here to get into that final qualification tournament.
If you're going to take a couple
Rugby
steps,
World Cup 2021.
Yes, that was probably one of the hardest games I've ever played in my career, and you can definitely say that was an 80-minute battle and one that everything was relying on.
Total penalties conceded there. Italy 4 to Scotland's 0.
Again, you can see Scotland opting to go for that line-out, which is really pleasing to see. 5 line-outs had and 5 line-outs won, which is a massive step up compared to what we've seen so far in the tournament. So the confidence in their decision-making around going for the try.
And confidence begets confidence, doesn't it? Once it works, although commentator's curse. I'll apologise to Lana Skeldon for that one later. That one went over the top. Italy with a chance to counter-attack. Elisa Dinker stepping all the way round to the touchline before releasing it back inside for Vittoria Ostuni Manuzzi. Scored twice in 2 matches in WXV2. The fullback. Offload from Chinesi. Did that go forwards? It did.
Seen a spark in the Italian attack there. Now again, just an unfortunate knock on there for Chinesi, but what she brings, she's a physical threat for Italy, both in her carries and defence. And I think we'll be seeing a lot of her in this 80 minutes. Again, really unfortunate. Looked for the offload. We know the Italians love that style of play. They want to keep that ball moving, stretch the defensive opposition, but again, resulted in a scrum. And I'd say the scrums have been pretty evenly matched so far, which is something pleasing to see, so I don't think Scotland will be too disappointed with the scrum outcome.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
Brian Eason talked this week, knowing that if Scotland can start well, if they could really squeeze this Italian team as they're trying to do here at scrum time, and they are getting another penalty advantage. Thompson, ball on the toe. Nothing will come of that, so we'll come back for it. And
2, okay.
you do just wonder,
not pushing straight.
Come the end of the 80th minute, how important decisions over 3 points now or not could prove to be.
That was smart work at the back of the scrum there from Evie Gallagher. She knew that they had the goal forward and she was just waiting for that arm to go out. The comms from Katie Mattison there, waiting for the arm to go out, knowing that you've got the penalty before being allowed to play.
Voice of Jade Conkle, who would love to be running out with her countrywoman. On the way back from injury. How is the rehab going?
Very well, thank you. I've got a great support network behind me, and you know they're doing everything they can to get me back on the pitch, and I think it will be sooner rather than later now.
We love to hear that.
Blue,
Back with Harlequin soon, no doubt.
That's the middle. Where I put my mark is the middle. Come this way.
Lana Skeldon got a couple of tries against Italy last year.
Good.
Among the 15 she has for a country. How she would love this to lead to another, to open the scoring and break the deadlock. That one's not straight though.
Outside shoulder. Scrum or line out? Please, scrum or line out? Line out?
Yeah, you could see Donaldson there just catching it on that right-hand side, so really clearly and evident, not straight. Now, you could say that the attack is jumping slightly in, but again, when you're catching it on the outside shoulder, it's such an easy picture for the ref to ping.
Stay there, White.
Has to be a decent competition for the ball down the middle as Vittoria Vicchini. Italy opting for the option to take the line out themselves, and it works out for them.
Turnover is good.
Oh, Lana Skeldon says she might have won the line out, but I'm going to wrestle the ball off Jordana Duca on the floor and give ourselves an opportunity to strike. Oh, it was quickly flown away. Then it was knocked on by Granzotto in trying to effect the interception. Oh, my goodness. Every chance that it was at the interception, so it will just be the knock-on. But how about this from Lana Skeldon?
Brilliant turnover from Lana Skeldon. You can see her low body height. She is strong over that ball. And Scotland are wanting to get that ball wide. They want to get it to their attacking back three. But what a read from Granzotto. The pace that she's come onto that, she would have been away had she got that in her hands. You can see the clear attempt at two-hand catch. Absolutely brilliant read, and just unfortunate it hasn't paid off for her.
That's a 22-year-old that has probably spent much of her career watching Beatrice Rigone get in those sorts of channels to effect those sorts of intercepts. I would say if there is one Women's Six Nations team you can't throw no-look passes against, Emma Orr might have just learned Italy are one of them.
Use it!
Gallagher picks from the base for Mattinson, then Nelson. Stepping off the right foot, Chloe Rowley. Rachel Malcolm. Nelson sells the dummy, takes a few metres herself, that's decent. Thompson now at first receiver, and again will carry. Seems to be the brief for Scotland. Take those metres, get the support play in there. Oh, the support play wasn't in enough time. Duca nicks one back. Italy have possession inside the 22. They could have numbers here. Sarasea needs to look and straighten. Opts to come in on the weaker shoulder of Alex Stewart. Just 19 years of age. Italy come away. Scorbini, now it's Medea again now. Rigoni putting it out on the full. That's a couple of unforced errors, couple of kicks that Italy have chosen to put in that haven't been effected efficiently.
Again, you can see Eva Donaldson there, the intent in the goal forward, but she's landed on her left shoulder, actually allowing the ball to be visible and Italy to have that time to get over. Landing on ball is so important because it just gives you that split second for the clearers to come under. But an unfortunate error from Italy again, that's two kicks that have gone dead and straight out, so it'll be something that they're going to need to work on if they want to play any form of territory.
McMillan. Skeldon, really beautiful feed of the ball for Thompson. Perfect weight on the pass. Mattinson. Rachel Malcolm had just arrived a millisecond early, but it's still there. McMillan again. Saracen offering herself. But the Italians turning Scotland over. That's the first penalty Scotland have conceded. Italy getting the turnover. It just feels like this is going to be one of those chess games that goes back and forth a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. Again, that's another breakdown penalty. Well, again, throughout the game, Italy have given away so far in Scotland. But again, Scotland have started well, but now you're starting to see a few errors come in, a few turnovers happen, which if they want to keep that goal forward, they're going to have to look at their discipline and, again, keep trying to get down the field. But again, a great capitalisation there from Italy, and they're really reading that ball carrier on the floor.
10 years since Italy's biggest ever Six Nations win. It was against Scotland in 2014. 45 points to 14. Giordano, lovely take at the tail for Stefan, and then Medea, and then the carry, but the knock forward. Arrighetti has been playing number 8. She's got the 6-0 back today. Mattinson a little late to get there, but this is Scotland possession, and Malcolm ships it on. They could have some width here if they could choose to use it, and it's with Gallagher, and then it's on for McGee, who steps around Rigoni, and Fran McGee still going into Giordano, but crucially into that Italian 22 again, and Molly Wright with the carry. Nelson, more depth now. The Scotland try and find some room. Chloe Rowley just turning up on the outside shoulder of Lisa Thompson. Just 2 options down this channel as Nelson comes in. Rona Lloyd switching away from the touchline as she knows how to do. Mattinson again. McMillan needs to be careful not to run into Donaldson. Oh, and it could be another turnover for Italy. It's brilliantly done by Sara Seye, Ealing Trailfinders prop, former Wasp. And that is another key end of momentum from a Scottish perspective, and a key breather for her teammates from Sara Seye.
You can see Louise McMillan landing on her side again. That ball is completely clear, but also that does, you have to say, where are her clearers? There was nobody on her shoulder there, so actually she had no support around her, when actually if you had that latch, it would have given her that extra metre of go forward and actually given a ball on a platter. But unfortunately, again, Italy have capitalised once again on a poor landing and actually delaying the clearers coming through.
I need you guys to stay on your front, Lister, please.
Italy certainly feeling the pressure, just 41% of possession. And look at the territory, Scotland with 72 of it. Italy have had the lowest share of territory over the course of the championship, just 33%, and they are below that average in the opening 23 minutes. Giordano. Good option at the tail, and in fact Scotland give away the penalty now, another one for bringing that down. Rigoni on for Medea, and then Ostuni Manuzzi. Penalty advantage is there. She's nearly got the ball away. It's been denied by McGee, but they know they have the penalty. And this
timing, it's a sack.
Just
sorry,
allow Beatrice Rigoni the chance to take a few more metres up that far side.
You see with the Italian lineouts, they've got options in their jumpers everywhere. I think Sara Tronesi might be their only non-jumping option in the row. So you've got the back row and you've got Duca there. So a brilliant way to be able to attack and have a platform to attack, and something that's really then difficult for Scotland to defend, because where do you mark in that line, and all their brilliant threats up in the air.
Rigoni, another one at Sale Sharks. Last week, her 50th Six Nations appearance. Amazing talent, earning a 74th cap. Hasn't got her usual centre partner of Michaela Sillery, who of course got injured in that opening match of the championship. We wish her well and a speedy return to the field. But this is Vicky. To the tail again. Super take from Giordano. Can Italy get much more change out of Scotland? Doesn't look like it, so Stefan will play. Lost backwards by Medea. Rigoni will be swamped. Manages to get the ball to ground. Stefan, oh, the lovely little ball back inside for Duca. Looked to try and get it away as well and managed the offload for Scorbini. That's much better from Italy. And Stefan pops it up for Bikini now once more, turning up on the right side. Scottish defence needs to get back in line, and they give another penalty advantage away. It's Duca off for Scorbini again, the two combining through the middle. Stefan, Giordano, best Italy have looked all game as they visit the Scottish 22. Medea off for Rigoni. Rigoni, the little chip over. Out of Muccio will be encouraged to chase, but it's a little heavy. We come back after the penalty.
There's a brilliant phase there. Again, you can see them expertly offloading in traffic. You can see the difficult ability to get your hands free, especially when you've got two people hanging off you. And again, they look for the space, that little dink over from Rigoni. And if Musso had just got there that little bit flatter when the kick happened, she would have been through. But I think maybe a missed comms there, thinking the ball was going to come through the hands on the edge. But again, it's nice to see the want and the heads-up rugby and the ability and where they're looking for space as well. And it just shows that they have threats in those areas.
Looked for that picture a moment ago, like Rigoni was certainly saying to them, you've got to be flatter in chasing that kick if I'm putting it in. But yeah, it does depend on whether the comms had got to them as to whether they knew that kick was coming.
I think this could be the first time that Italy have actually penetrated into Scotland's 22. So, you know, this is an opportunity that they want to hold on to. They're not going to want to make those mistakes. And again, they're going to want to keep possession and stay within the 22 and look for those opportunities. Yeah,
Italy failed to score a try in 7 of their 9 visits to the French 22. They averaged just 1.3 points a visit. Against Ireland, it was 3.4 points a visit. So you can see the difference just in that statistic as to how effective a team needs to be on the right side of a result. Rigoni to put Italy as close into the corner as she can.
It'll be interesting to see what Scotland choose to do here, and whether they get up and compete and try to disrupt, or whether they stay on the floor and try and stop that maul dead just from the onset.
Italy have sent the last few to Giordano at the back. What will the options be this time? It won't be Giordano. Oh, and it won't be straight either. It won't matter that they managed to get Arrighetti up to it.
Again, you can see that clear reach with the outside hand. It's just a perfect picture for the ref to be able to call not straight, and Scotland will be having a breath there, thinking they've got out of trouble. Unfortunate for Italy, but you know, we've seen what they can do. We've seen the threats in attack, and they're going to be doing everything they can to be getting that ball back.
Coach!
Martinson. And Nelson. It's just tiptoed over to this short side. Italy have dropped well back into the backfield, but Gallagher is going to carry to the open side, and Thompson will punch it up. Successfully do so as well. Now Nelson's back in a more traditional position to effect the clearance, but she won't find touch, and Granzotto is underneath it. Sends it infield for Ostuni Minuzzi, who has Musso on the left shoulder, but it's more of a lateral advance from the fullback. Italy come through with Duca again. She's having a good game, isn't she? Medea, Rigoni. Opting not for the miss pass that time. Granzotto looking to try and take on Fran McGee one-on-one. McGee stays with her and makes the tackle. Arrighetti, school teacher in Brittany in France, where she's been for 8 years. Medea. Tunasi will always try and release the ball through contact. I have to say that sometimes Sarah Tunasi will try that when it's not on. Saw that a couple of times against France.
You can see the frustration on her face there. Looks for the offload. Again, good carries we're seeing from the Italians. They're getting that good goal forward, they're getting the gain line. But it's just those little last-minute errors of those turnovers which are costing them.
How about the performance of that woman so far? 31 years of age. Scoring against the USA in WXV2. Won't be too far off that 50th Qatar South Giordano Duca. We see Evie Gallagher getting some attention on her 20th start, the Bristol Bear. She's hit the most defensive rucks across the Guinness Women's Six Nations, total of 30 coming into this one. not afraid to put her body on the line.
She's absolutely not, and again, we've spoken a lot about her defensively, but also defensively around the breakdowns and actually making those steals. She's stolen 5 in the championship so far, which is the most of any player of any nation. I like to say she's a Jack Russell around the breakdown, because, you know, she's fearless, she's energetic, but she's an intelligent player and she knows when it's on as well. And she's a player that's come into her own. She's young, she's athletic, she's strong, and she's got such a brilliant work ethic, and it's a pleasure to play alongside her, and I know that she's got so much to give in the Scotland shirt and a very exciting career ahead.
Well, Scotland shirt, we look forward to you being back in as well yourself, Joe, but you speak well and generously of Evie Gallagher. Played a bit of sevens, come through under 18s and under 19s. Saw that scoreboard at Twickenham. England such heavy winners against Ireland. We knew that with, well, barely a cigarette paper between these two in terms of the world rankings, that this one would be tight. 30 minutes on the clock. We are still scoreless in Palmer. Scotland tried to bring it away. Stefan, or it was Dinka, thought she was on the ball. Didn't get the turnover as Christine Belial, who had a bit of treatment. One of the Loughborough Lightning players fires it back to another in Helen Nelson. Christine Minuzzi. Little dink. It's not going to go quite where she might have hoped, as Nelson was well positioned to receive it. Is it Sylvia Tirani who's just stopped in the middle of the field? Ball goes into touch on the far side. Rona Lloyd not being allowed an awful lot of time and space as she might prefer.
You're chasing,
but we do have Jade Conkle's teammate at Harlequin, Sylvia Tirani, just down. She didn't play last week. She did enjoy the trip to Paris, but she had passed all her return to play protocols from a previous concussion, but said she didn't quite feel right, didn't want to be selected, and well, I think in the modern game, we certainly have to praise those players that say they're not quite feeling right.
When in that kick,
yeah, absolutely. You can just see there she's got an elbow to the eye, and it looks like she's got a bit of a cut in the eye. And honestly, there's nothing worse than a little damage in your cornea. Honestly, your blurred vision, it makes both eyes painful, and you know, it's you can see her in a lot of pain when she was on the floor, but hopefully again it's going to clear.
To see how they're not on you, they need to come this way.
She's made her strong stuff.
She certainly is. She's one of the most humble humans ever as well, and she's just a brilliant personality to have around.
Giordano down off the top for Stefan. Medea for Rigoni, then the lovely support line from Elisa Dinka. Elisa Dinka to try and go into the corner, steps back in, what a score! The last 3 tries scored by Italy in the Guinness Women's Six Nations have all got that woman's name next to them. 5 tries in 7 tests now, going right back to WXV. Elisa Dinka, sensational.
You can see it come from the line out, a lovely take, and just brilliant space, awareness, looking where the traffic is, and she's like a runaway train. That one step back inside, clear run to the try line, and again, we knew that she was going to be a threat. We said it prior to the game, that she is going to be, you know, somebody that you're going to have to shut down, give absolutely no space, and you can see it there, that lovely step back inside, the pace that she's come onto the ball, and actually the read of where the space is, absolutely brilliant, and I'm not surprised to see her on that team sheet.
My favourite moment in that was actually seeing Ilaria Arrighetti, who made the bust, got the offload away, the perfect timing, and Arrighetti in the background of Dinka scoring, giving it the double fist pump as the conversion goes over. Italy with the score on the board, leading by 7 points to 0. It was all about the physicality of Arrighetti and then the pace of Dinka. The beauty of what this 15-player game is all about.
Scotland will be frustrated that they've still got 0 on the scoreboard, considering how many times they've got into the Italian 22 now. So they're going to be looking to really make points count now, and maybe decision making will change around going for points and starting to build up that scoreboard.
Duca takes the restart. Lisa Dinker was already on the most metres per carry than anyone in the Guinness Women's Six Nations coming into this, with 15.9 metres. I think Ellie Kildown has tried to attack that stat at Twickenham today, but Dinker with a riposte. Penalty goes the way of Scotland.
And then people went over it.
From this sort of position,
3 on the ground.
Will they look at the corner? Expect they will. That looks like the plan from Lisa Thompson.
Again, you heard the ref there say that ball was out, so that was completely clear for Lana Skeldon to come in and disrupt. It was well listened to by the ref and actually used it to your advantage, and then got the penalty. Again, working on that 5-metre line, getting that territory game, but have to come away with the points in the 22.
Donaldson, front option. Movement in the line out, and then risen in the middle. Scotland look to engage. Lana Skeldon is riding low at the back of this one, almost surfing at the back of the boat as this one speeds over the line. Lana Skeldon with the reply for Scotland, a full pack effort to get them over the line, and no sooner do they concede than they're able to get one back on the board, and it's Skeldon with her 16th in a Scotland shirt.
That was a brilliant take in the line out from Eva Donaldson. The movement in the line out as well. When you're 5 metres out, sometimes teams opt to go for that safer option, but there was a lot of movement in that, and it put Italy on their heels and gave a clean jump and allowed Eva Donaldson time to get that ball in the air. And again, brilliantly formed, the pace to get that maul set up. Everyone was tight, it was a unit. You could see it as an 8, and it's a well-deserved forward pack team try.
Score that takes Lana Skeldon over 100 points for Scotland. She's got 23 points from the boot as well, don't forget.
She was always brilliant on the touchline with the boot. We always knew that a touchline conversion, Lana Skeldon was going to step up and slot it.
The duty of slotting them now is Helen Nelson's. Turns 30 next month. Has swung a decent right peg at that one, and the flags go up. Well, we were all square for half an hour of this fixture, as it was scoreless. Now we're a try apiece. It's Italy 7, Scotland 7.
Again, we can see that tightness of that pack in the maul and just peeling off from Skeldon at that perfect moment. She can see the line and she knows that it's there, and there's going to be absolutely no stopping her. And just look at the delight on her face. Again, absolutely brilliant. A
Bristol bearish roar from Lana Skeldon. Rigoni sends that downfield. Emma Orr took it, got the call from Thompson to make the exit. Soundly done as well.
Lovely exit there from Lisa Thompson. You can see that she's got such a long boot, which always pays out when you're looking to have those exits off a kick-off, because we've now got, you know, the ball on the halfway line and out of the trenches.
33.3 metre gain.
White,
that'll
out
do.
the back, please. Last warning, come left. Yep, stay there.
Maggie Cogger-Orr getting a little impatient with positioning of the teams in the line. It's a good competition. Giordano was there. Medea. It's Arrighetti once more in the midfield. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Medea, a little flat-footed this initially. Muzzo away from Dinker. Stefan Tunesi drives, ends up a little more towards the floor that time, but then it's Medea once more, and it's beautifully on again, and it's Arrighetti who is playing the offload game, and Rigoni committing defenders, running around them all. Elisa Giordano ends up watching the nutmeg through the legs, and Italy lose possession. But again, it was the sort of play that was just getting the home fans out of their seats.
The way Italy move the ball is sensational. Again, they look to move it into space, and it pays off well for them. It is those last-minute offloads when it could just be setting up a platform, taking it to deck, and again, playing back the opposite way. But you can see the intent there, you can see the want, but they said at the start of the game they haven't really found themselves in attack yet, but it's those key little errors that's just allowing those turnovers to start creeping in more and more.
Through now.
More movement in the line, sees the ball back under the left mitt of Skeldon.
Stay there, Blue.
Mattinson, Thompson, options deep, but it ended up just being the short ball for Gallagher. Round the corner, Belial loses it, but backwards is the call.
Take it back. Wait here, wait.
Thompson charged down. Giordano gets on the ball and manages to get it off the floor for Tunasi. And Tunasi, good aggressive carry into the heart of the 22. Scotland looking to compete on the floor and in fact looking to dislodge the ball. From Sophia Stefan, the knock-on will give Scotland possession.
Yeah, I'm sorry, sir.
It's all happening now.
Yes, it certainly is. We're seeing more of those breaks from the Italians. That was a brilliant charge down there from Saracei. Absolute brilliant read. They could see that Lisa Thompson was setting up for that clearance kick. But what a carry from Sara Tonesi. You can see her literally running with Evie Gallagher in her hand, pushing her off. But you can see her in a little discomfort there. But a brilliant carry, brilliant reactions to that exit, and allowing Scotland to stay in their 22.
And in terms of attack, well, you can see that Italy are making those meters with only a few more carries. They've made far more meters, 372 for the 56 carries, and it's the offload game that's really working for the Marighetti at the centre of much of it.
It's interesting to see the difference in the carry meters, because Scotland have had a lot of possession, but the difference in actually carrying meters, you can see the Italian backs running more fluidly with the ball, whereas you see maybe more the upfront carries from Scotland getting those inches as opposed to those line breaks.
Bind! Yeah, okay. Okay, I'll come to that side. Let's go.
Clock ticks into the final minute of the first 40.
Anything?
It's fair to say it's absolutely flown by.
Okay. Okay. You can stand at the front. That's fine. Wind up, guys.
Around 3 games for these sides. Very much the hump of the Women's Six Nations competition, shipping 84 points between them, facing the likes of France and England, but certainly gets pretty tasty with this encounter. And both teams battles next week. Scotland against Ireland is a fascinating encounter. Mattinson for Nelson. Looks for the clearance.
High tackle.
In fact, there was a high tackle in there.
You also had advantage there. I'm going to offer it to Rachel, but they're basically in the same spot. Rach, you got a high tackle here or a scrum collapsing just here? High tackle.
You can see that scrum collapsing just against Sylvia Turani on that left-hand side. Her elbows hitting the ground first, which is what the ref is seeing. So she sees the collapse from the line out. But then that was followed by a high tackle, so that's 2 penalties on the bounce there, with Scotland having the option to get out of their 22 and retain ball.
Clock in the red. Penalty kick will result in the line out. Continue to play.
Last play. Rachel, last play.
Well, they've been working on their line out over the course of the week. Good job too, because this is the 9th in this first half. And it's Rachel Malcolm, the skipper, down for Mattinson. Nelson. Thompson. Managed to get through the first tackle, keep the legs going. Mattinson then has Skeldon, try scorer, popping up on the right shoulder. Medea considering getting involved, and that's gone forwards from Rachel Malcolm to Molly Wright, and that will allow Maggie Cogerore to blow the half-time whistle. Well, we were scoreless for those first 30 minutes, but there was still plenty to keep us engrossed as we hit the 40-minute mark. There's nothing between the sides. A try apiece. Elisa Dinker with an absolute peach of a score, and Lana Skeldon able to get Scotland on the board. Both converted. It's 7 points apiece after the first 40. Don't go anywhere. The second half, I'm sure, will continue to deliver.
Stanno scendendo in campo 50 delle 620 atlete protagoniste della festa del rugby che l'ha vista impegnate sino ad ora sui campi della cittadella. Scendono in campo per invitarvi a partecipare alla campagna Io faccio la maglia, nata dal progetto europeo Erasmus Who Sport Women and Rugby, che ha l'obiettivo di promuovere la parità di genere nel mondo dello sport e in particolare nel rugby. Fate una foto con la maglia che vi rappresenta, quella di giocatrice, di dirigente, di avvocato, ma anche di mamma. Condividetela nelle stories del vostro profilo Instagram, usate l'hashtag la faccio la maglia e taggate la TIR. Tutti, uomini, donne, bambini e bambine, ragazzi e ragazze, sono chiamati a partecipare, perché il rugby è di tutti. Passo ora la parola a Maria Cristina Tonna, coordinatrice attività femminili e Federazione Italiana Rugby.
Buon pomeriggio a tutti, spero che mi sentiate. Allora, noi siamo qui appunto per rilanciare questa campagna di comunicazione che, come avete ben capito, si chiama Io faccio la maglia, e qui abbiamo tante ragazze ma anche tanti ragazzi che la maglia la fanno tutti i giorni. Perché è stato scelto un claim del genere? Perché chiaramente tutte noi che abbiamo giocato a rugby almeno una volta nella vita si sono sentite dire andate a casa a fare la maglia, piuttosto che altri stereotipi che vengono applicati appunto tutti i giorni, non soltanto nello sport, in questo caso nel rugby, ma in tanti momenti quotidiani. Ecco, noi con questa campagna vogliamo ribaltare completamente lo stereotipi, invitando tutti a... Allora, non fermare il cambiamento, fanne parte, e qui abbiamo Chiara. Di dove sei?
Di Vicenza, squadra Red.
E da quanto tempo giochi?
Un annetto più o meno.
Bene, e qui abbiamo una ragazza che viene da lontanissimo, la squadra che viene da più lontano, Fenici, Marsala, mi chiamo Charlotte. Cioè questa ragazza è venuta da Marsala per stare qui con noi, per far parte della nostra maglia, vero Charlotte?
È verissimo.
Ok, e poi abbiamo un'altra ragazza, questa è alta come me.
Elena.
Di dove sei?
Treviso.
Cosa significa far parte di una maglia?
Impegnarsi tutti i giorni e lavorare costantemente.
Bene, allora io direi una cosa, non soltanto a Treviso, a Marsala, a Volvera, a Vicenza, ma la maglia ci unisce in tutta Italia ed è questo il messaggio che vogliamo lanciare. E vi invitiamo, come ha già detto anche la speaker, a rilanciare la nostra campagna sui social e a inondare veramente il web con la nostra campagna per portarci più lontano possibile. Grazie a tutti e speriamo bene per la partita. Come sta andando, Alessandro? È una bella partita?
Sì, una bella partita, le ragazze stanno giocando e sicuramente devono iniziare bene il secondo tempo per riuscire a portare a casa la partita.
Allora continuiamo a fare la maglia tutti insieme. Grazie.
Ringraziamo ancora tutti ragazzi e ragazze presenti, mi raccomando fate una foto con la maglia che vi rappresenta, giocatrici, dirigenti, avvocati, ma anche di mamme. Condividete nelle storie dei vostri profili Instagram usando l'hashtag io faccio la maglia e taggate la FIR. Tutti, uomini, donne, bambini, bambine, ragazzi e ragazze, sono tutti chiamati a partecipare, perché il rugby è per tutti.
Benvenuti in un gioco fatto di imprevisti da affrontare. Benvenuti in un campo pieno di avversari da superare e ricominciare a correre più forte di prima. È un gioco per uomini, per donne, per tutti. È un gioco dove fare squadra fa la differenza, tutti i giorni. Benvenuti in campo con gli azzurri per la vittoria di tutti. Vittoria Assicurazioni scende in campo Confederazione Italiana Rugby, perché chi protegge se stesso protegge gli altri.
Every time someone tells you they vacation in the same place every year, it should really make you wonder. Why? Travel like you mean it with IHG Hotels and Resorts. 19 hotel brands, 6,000 global destinations, one loyalty program.
Grazie Elia.
E si parte da un tentativo di parità a 7-7 con il secondo tempo Italia versus Scozia.
The sun continues to shine in Parma. We thought the storms might arrive, but luckily for Scotland, having endured a fair few in Edinburgh last week, they are enjoying the chance to run around. 7 points apiece after that first 40 minutes. Delighted to say we still have Jade Conkle with us, Scotland international. And, well, Jade, what are the sort of comments that will be made in a half-time team talk to that Scotland team? Was that enough of what they will want to be doing in that first 40 minutes?
I think they're going to have lots of positives to take from that first half, but ultimately they've been banging on all week about execution, and it's those final little areas that they've probably slipped off slightly. And again, we've seen how many times they've got into the Italian 22 but not come away with points. So it's those final little bits of execution I think is going to be the key messages in that changing room at half-time.
Beatrice Rigoni waits alongside referee Maggie Cogger, or get the second half underway. First half tries from Dinker and Skeldon then. Nothing between the two. Francesca McGee considers a few metres up that far side, and then Malcolm.
Use it!
Eva Donaldson, first start for the Leicester Tigers second row. Brian Easton talking about her always bringing energy onto the pitch
Inside
and off
50.
it. Little dink overall, couldn't be kept in. Quite a few people going for the ball. Katie Mattison, first one there.
Yeah, okay.
You can see the sun in the eyes now for the Scotland players. Lack of communication there. Fran McGee, I think it was, or Rona Lloyd could see that Katie Mattison was coming onto the ball, but ultimately didn't step back.
There is a little bit of a breeze out there. It's probably largely to the back of Scotland now. Veronica Medea to knock on. Just tipped back by Stefan to fly half, but
okay, yeah. Just a sec, guys. I'm going to get a little puff for my.
Could have hold on to it.
Okay, same. Got my little huff here. Time zone, team.
"25 years of not winning on Italian soil."
Bind!
How Scotland would love to break that record. It's actually been a while since Italy have won here themselves. They've not managed victory at the Stadio Sergio Lanfranchi since they defeated Ireland 24-7 in April last year. They've lost to England, Japan and Wales in that time.
Long binds.
Scotland with plenty of depth on the back line as we see the front rows get ready to come together.
Bind!
Replacements
Set!
will have their say once they come onto that front row.
Use it!
Gallagher tries to shove the scrum an extra couple of metres as Mattinson then plays it for Nelson.
No.
McGee.
Use it!
Mattinson wants a few more people down the 5-metre channel towards the touchline.
Now, 9. Insider 50.
Mattinson needs to listen to the referee. Just be careful she doesn't take too long over that. Ostuni Minuzzi plays it off for Muzzo. Stefan could go the same way here. A bit of a floaty pass for Medea. But the kick downfield will send Chloe Rowley turning on her heel to go back. But McGee runs in the direction that Katie Mattinson was gesturing. She gave it a go. Stays in field. Mattinson for Skeldon. Carries to the halfway. Nelson. More depth. Thompson. Orr. So often see Emma Orr taking those outside arcs and managing to find a little space where it looked like there was none. That little chip through will find Ostuni Minuzzi. Tackle from Orr was enough. Tirani.
No.
Stefan, long pass for Rigoni. Not an awful lot on for Beatrice Rigoni as she gets away from Rona Lloyd. Back in field. Italy holding on to possession here as Tunasi goes through the gap. But it's a little more lateral than it's finding metres across the gain line. Stefan puts it forward. Helen Nelson,
Insider 50.
well positioned. That'll just come straight down the neck of Veronica Medea, though, who has opted for the chip. Or the high up and under, I should say. Tries to find Mattinson. Lloyd stepping away. Was well met, and the crowd liked the tackle from Tunasi. Right, tipped on for McMillan in the tackle from Seye. Kick over the top from Mattinson. Won't quite get as far as the 22. Seeing a fair bit of kick tennis here. Stefan.
Insider 50.
Oh, has that gone out on the full? It does touch the whitewash. Sophia Stefan puts her hands in the air as if to say, we've won that battle. Beatrice Rigoni is remonstrating with the fact that she thinks the kick or the line-out should be another 4 or 5 metres towards the Scottish try line. Frustration for Mattinson.
Yeah, really frustrating. You could see the fight for territory there. A lot of kick tennis. Who's going to break first and go for that run? Unfortunately, a little error there from Katie Mattinson getting it out on the full and giving Italy that territory gain that they've got.
Just check where she was when she kicked it.
Just a look at the try so far, Dinker.
I know it's a contact, but we can't.
Beating up all the metres, Dinker, and then it was, well, the short metres. Skeldon breaking away and diving over and thumping the chest in the process.
I think Rigoni's got her wish there. They have moved a couple metres down the field.
We're going to have to do something.
Well, this is how things stand. England, France at the top, but really that focus is all about that third position. And well, if the honours were to be even,
stay on the line.
Italy third, Scotland fourth.
Stay on the line.
35 minutes yet in this story. Arrighetti having a good game with the 6 on her back. Stefan, Medea, sense of urgency. Rigoni, Mutso into the tackle of Thompson. Two Scottish centres doing well there. Ostuni Manuzzi into Evie Gallagher. Rigoni breaking, smuggling it through on the far side. Stefan, oh, and it will be the turnover.
On the person.
Gallagher was getting over it now. Sophia Stefan is trying to ask the question as to whether she was on the ball, but I think given the fact that it was a squeeze ball position, you may have heard the referee say, which is where a player is over it and the ball's coming back between the legs, and she's given the benefit of Gallagher in that turnover.
That was well read from Evie Gallagher. She couldn't see the ball because it was a squeeze through, but she has still gone for it, and she is trying to lift that ball. So that is a free ball for Evie Gallagher to get over. You see there, the way Rigoni lands, the ball is then trapped, so she tries to squeeze it back through her legs, but Evie Gallagher is straight on that, causing the disruption, and it's a very fair penalty for Scotland to be given.
Skeldon looking into that sunshine, does well. Donaldson. Or through the middle. Thompson, Rowley. Well lined up by Rigoni. Two of them will have met each other in the PWR, Loughborough Lightning and Sale Sharks. Nelson. Rachel Malcolm. Looking full of running this afternoon. Nelson, or Skeldon, and she's been well cleaned out there. Under pressure. Hit was made. She knew she needed to try and get a quick offload, but it goes forwards. Sarah Tunesi taking names.
I think Lana Skeldon could see that Sarah Tunesi had flown out the line there. You could see her just looking to her right, trying to get that tip, but because of the body height of Tunesi, she's come in, she's bent at the hips. It's just being that little bit too high that when she tried to get that offload away, she's actually hit Sarah Tunesi. It's a brilliant hit, brilliant read, brilliant line speed, but Scotland know that Sarah Tunesi is going to bring that, and she's going to be that flyer out the line. So the option to offload was right, but the execution needs to be better.
Italy's tally on the tackles there up to 81.
Guys, patience.
Actually had the top tackles in the Guinness Women's Six Nations, 650 coming into this one
I need you to
for an 86% success rate.
Okay, come closer. Just patience, this side is getting a bind.
See from the 69 tackles that
Let's go.
Scotland have made, they've missed. I can just see an update on the system in front of us, 16 of those.
Crouch! Bind!
Stefan plays the Al-Sagana club, as does number 8 Giordano, who controls it as Medea gets away. Ostuni Manuzzi nearly overrunning the support line, but it almost just helped force the door open for Medea, and the ball on the floor, a real contest. Arrighetti will get it away. Turani.
Stay.
Stefan, Rigoni, Tunesi. Giordano, footwork, gets away from Gallagher. Medea, carried last time, carries again. Rigoni, little dink through, looking for Dinker. Rhoda Lloyd kept it alive, and then it's then with Emma Orr, but Scotland are going backwards in possession here. Still 7 points apiece on the scoreboard. Which of these two sides can turn more pressure into points? Certainly saw plenty of time in the first half looking in this direction, with Scotland piling on the pressure, not able to convert it into points, and now as Scotland try and clear. Duca with the pressure, not able to get hands on it, was Chloe Rowley. Okay to buffet her out of the way as she controlled it. Almost like a centre half, creating the room to control and defend the ball. Temperature in Palma is going up.
It's a really good read there from Ducat. again, if you're going to spend that amount of time setting up the box kick, you need to make sure those blockers are in, and perhaps there wasn't a player slightly to the right to block that come through on Katie Mattinson's foot, and it's an easy charge down and one that Scotland will be kicking themselves. Excuse the pun.
It is excused. 10 line-outs, 1 for Scotland, 2 lost. 8, 1 for Italy. Make that 9. Oh, no. Make it not straight in the eyes of our referee.
Scrum line out. Yeah. Okay, but the throw is not straight, but I will look at scrum. Scrum called.
Scotland looking to make some changes, and had the chance to speak to Brian Easton.
Whites, 1 and 3.
Just before the game, and he was saying he's excited by the real front row Scottish power they will be able to bring off the bench, and they're bringing 2 out of the 3. It's Leah Bartlett, Eliane Clark replacing Wright Belial.
Okay, time is on.
10th cap for Clark. They've all been replacements for the Bristol Bear. And Leah Bartlett at Leicester Tigers, formerly of Loughborough. 34th cap. 26 of those have been starts, but being looked at now a little more as a finisher.
It'll be exciting to see how they come on and impact the scrum. The scrum's been going really well so far. Scotland have won 6 of the scrums, which is a massive improvement to the 86% of scrums won in their games previously. Again, come on, brilliant penalty. They'll be absolutely chuffed with that.
Elbow to ground.
Straight in, straight arm penalty. Rachel Malcolm looks up.
Elbow to ground.
Couldn't believe what she sees.
Seems to be a theme with Eliane Clark coming on the pitch. I'm sure in the World Cup last year when she came on against Australia, first scrum, pen straight away. So maybe it's her calling, coming off the bench, scrum, pen straight away.
Just use the end of the line, okay? As the middle. Middle, yep.
There we go. Line out practice in the crowd as well. 2 balls on the field. Rachel Malcolm will be the option at the front.
5.
Skeldon happy to ride as Scotland make 10 metres from where the initial line-out position was. Giordano trying to cause a problem. Mattinson gets across. Thompson in the middle for Gallagher.
Tackle, release, blue.
Around the corner. Clark with the first carry since coming on. Nelson, or worked nicely for Rowley and McGee. Certainly seen the ball in Fran McGee's hands more than we've seen it in Rona Lloyd's, the 50 capper. Clark had to ride that tackle, but did so well, and it's there for Nelson. And then Leah Bartlett in the middle. Good central position this for Scotland. Can they keep the momentum? Nelson looks at asking some questions herself. Then it's there for Thompson, who steps right, but was well met by the Italian skipper. Slows down momentarily. Bartlett for Clark. Well driven by Tunasi. Slight grimace on the face of Jade Conkle next to me. And the Italians will be pleased with that defensive set, as Scotland have to give up possession once more.
I think that was 2 carries on the bounce there from Eliane Clark and 2 tackles on the bounce there from Sarah Tunasi. Bone-crunching tackles that are incoming from her. You can feel them on the sideline. Again, the perfect timing, the body height, perhaps got her head on the wrong side of the tackle there. She's led with her right foot, but actually gone in with the left shoulder.
Well, we can have a little look at the ruck speed here. 38%, 1 to 3 seconds. That's less than Italy have been managing, and certainly on the whole, it's been slower than their opponents. You just wonder, Jade, at moments where it looks like they have the Italian defence on the rack, it just slows down.
Absolutely, and I think that's been a theme so far in the tournament. That ball has been that little bit too slow at the ruck, even when there has been options either side. And again, if you want to get that defence on the back foot, if you're getting the goal forward from the carries, you need to capitalise that on with quick ball, which I think sometimes Scotland are missing the jump on just slightly.
And the ball's being used by either side. The average pass speed, if any of you are interested in that, is actually almost identical. 29.3 kilometres an hour for Italy, 29.4 for Scotland. So once the ball's being used, it's being used pretty quickly, but speed of it coming out of each ruck certainly a little slower on the Scottish side. 24.5 metre gain then.
I'll give you the middle
for the Italians.
Just the middle here. You take your half meter off there, and you get them on you.
We only had about 2 minutes where this
here.
game wasn't in the balance. Italy scoring before Scotland replied.
Stay.
Win predictor had a 1% suggestion of a draw. That will suit neither of these sides. It's a rare line-out loss for Italy. And Scotland have the ball as Malcolm looks to try and step around Tinashe. Not many people do that. Nelson on for Thompson. Big right boot.
Yeah.
Suni Manuzzi was just out of position. It's a really good kick.
Yeah, agreed. Blue on the 22.
Didn't quite get into the 22.
It was a brilliant steal from Louise McMillan. It was well read. She's actually, it'll be her 4th in the tournament line-out steal, which is fantastic. She gets up there, perfect decision, and actually discusses. You can see the
on the 22.
The chat with the movement, and her lifters are getting her up to steal that ball.
Yeah.
Well, as time ticks on, our win predictor.
Blue, come into
Look
the
at
line
that, 12% now, the suggestion of the draw.
Keep your space, please.
And ultimately, 45 and 43 is a much more different story from how it looked, where it was 67% in favour of Italy at the start.
No, close. I've asked you 3 times. Closing the gap.
Well, we did hear a warning from Maggie Cogerore to the Scottish forwards earlier for closing the gap at the line-out. Said it was the last warning, and this time they get the free kick. And Italy not hanging around. Rigoni being held up, needs to try and get a knee to ground. Is that ball coming back for Italy? No, it's not. That's a solid turnover from Scotland. You can hear the celebrations.
We've seen the defence throughout this game of those 2 tacklers coming in to look to hold up the Italian players. We've seen it from backs, we've seen it from forwards, and it's just brilliant. Now they've seen the ball as high and they've held her up to get that possession back. You hear the ref call maul. Italy bring them all down, and then it's a turnover.
Silvia Tirani makes way, as does Elisa Giordano. Back in an Italian shirt, back captaining the side. And after 56.5 minutes, able to take her leave. Valeria Fedrighi is onto the field.
Okay, so square.
As is Gaia Maris. Earning a 29th cap, the Romagnan player. She is Azzurre number 200. No introduction yet of Lucia Guy, who last week against France in the last quarter looked pretty devastating.
Bind!
Giovanni Raineri, that 6'2" bench. Not being dipped into too much just yet. Away from Gallagher for Mattinson. Nelson. Oh, and Emma Orr managing to step through the gap, gets the call on the right. 1-on-1. Rona Lloyd. She managed to get around Mutso, but still had work to do to try and finish. Best opportunity Scotland have had since the try from Skeldon. Mattinson. Bartlett. Eventually gets the ball to ground. Scotland queuing on the left side. This is where they need that quicker ball. Malcolm.
Tackle!
Saraseo doing a really good job defensively. Nelson. Well pinned in the tackle. Mattinson, then for McMillan. Another tackle from Saraseo. Skeldon. Dummied the offload to Bartlett. There for Mattinson once more. That's where the pace needs to be. Madison's got to get that ball away. It's just a little too slow for Scotland at the minute, but now have they got room on the outside? Chloe Rowley feeds it left for McGee. Steps away, Rowley on the wraparound. 10 metres out now, Scotland. Malcolm offering herself, but it's the penalty that goes the way of the Italians. Skeldon gets isolated. A slightly exasperated Jade Conkle alongside me. Just not the pace that's going to trouble that Italian defence, is it?
No, Scotland were really frustrated with that because the opportunities were there. They were breaking the line, they had momentum, but Scotland have slowed their own momentum down. Again, you can see Chloe Rowley has got the ball there, but the support is really slow to get there, and then it's an easy turnover for Italy to then come through. They're moving the ball, they're attacking the right places, but the ball is just that little bit too slow.
I mean, Katie Matheson is the scrum half who's on the field, and she's the one getting into the bottom of those rucks. It doesn't look like the ball's not available. Certainly Matheson plays with the current Premiership Women's Rugby League leaders, Gloucester Hartpury, who pride themselves on quick ball. But it is interesting now, just as we talk about it, the change is being made. Mara McDonald being brought on the field, 10th time off the bench, the Exeter chief.
No, that's the middle.
Another Hillhead Jordan Hill product. We may see Ellis Martin as well, who's another. But it's an interesting change because McDonald has the joint fastest average pass speed. Can she speed up the time it's getting away from the breakdown at a time that Scotland need it? Dinker, outside arc, did well to get the ball away. Mutso, working hard for every metre. Tunesi, having a good game.
No hands, no hands.
Stefan.
Wait.
Medea.
Hold on.
It's a good kick.
She's inside of 50.
Bouncing into the 22 from Rigoni. Falling field from Chloe Rowley. Swatted Mutso away. Penalty Scotland.
Tackle, must release.
Releasing in the tackle, the clear call from the referee. Scotland find themselves at the wrong end of the park, though.
Time off.
You can see Chloe Rowley, she is a threat in attack. She's got that low body height, she moves her hips, you never know, is she going left or is she going right? She's a person that's really hard to defend in any form of space. And you can see Italy wanting to shut it down, they put in 2 tacklers there, and they know they've got good return with getting those jackal turnovers, but they need to show the ref a clear picture with that clear release.
Okay, time is on.
Huge possession.
Tackle, must release.
Stat in favour of Scotland. Just not turning that into more numbers on the scoreboard where they desperately need them.
We've spoken about that execution, and that's a clear picture just of the lack of those final little moments of execution that Scotland need.
Will be the Scotland line out. You may have noticed, incidentally, they are wearing the black armbands, and that is in tribute, of course, to Pauline Wassell. And our thoughts are with Emma. She was popular among the girls, wasn't she, Jade?
She absolutely was. She was one of the best humans you could imagine. She would always bring the squad tablet, no matter where you were in the world. And you know, she's a big loss for Emma also, but also the team as well. And we're right behind Waz and her family and the whole community. Yeah,
the family support's so important, isn't it? They become everybody's parents, the travelling pack.
They absolutely do, and our family all have a group chat. So it's a brilliant travelling sport, and it's one that we are completely behind Emma with.
Yeah, absolutely. Our thoughts with her and the rest of the family. Clearance kick was well taken by Granzotto. Scotland wrestling to try and get the ball into touch. It's somehow stayed infield, but it was almost being played on the floor at the time. Italy have come away with a penalty. They've loved the look of Francesca Granzotto for a couple of years, the youngster. Plays a Rugby Union, Rugby Capitolina. And at the start, having been on the bench, she mentioned earlier, plays a bit of scrum half a lot. She was playing there at WXV and at 15. At times they just want her on the field. They like what she offers. Scotland looking to make the change. Rachel McLaughlin is coming onto the field, and it's going to be 19-year-old Alex Stewart who makes way.
Stay this way. Stay this way.
She's studying a law degree She's not one of the full-time or professional contracted players, Alex Stewart. Have to manage the load that she takes as well, given her young age, but my goodness, isn't she
Turnover's good.
a fantastic campaigner for now and the future of Scottish rugby. Making way for Rachel McLaughlin, who earns her 42nd cap. The Sale Sharks player. We will know the likes of Sarah Tunasi and Beatrice Rigoni pretty well. This is Granzotto again. Option on the shoulder, Vittoria Ostuni-Minuzzi. Emma Orr nearly getting a paw in to try and get the turnover. Sarah Sayer back into the middle of the field where much of this game has been played. Duca. Another good run from Giordana Duca.
You got anything, Amber?
Has it been knocked on? Scotland have got possession. Gallagher feeds it away. Thompson. Nobody at the back for Italy. Just puts the ball on the foot. Rona Lloyd is herring after this. Muzzo under pressure. Clear out was good, but the ball's there for Emma Orr to pick and go, and Orr will score. Opportunist from Scotland, but however they come, they'll take them. 17 minutes remain of the match. Finally, Scotland have their second, and they lead for the first time.
So pleasing to see Emma Orr on that score sheet. All game so far, she's been carefully probing that defensive line for cracks and openings to exploit and putting other people away. So again, brilliant read there from Lisa Thompson. The 50-22 option was on, but it's found grass. Well pressured by Rona Lloyd to actually slow down the ball. Brilliantly picked up from Emma Orr. She sees the ball's out, she can come round the corner, she can pick it up, straight line to the try line. Unreal reading, unreal play, and just brilliant to see Scotland come away with points, because they penetrated that 22 on quite a few occasions and not come away with points. But again, that execution was sublime there.
I mean, Aramuzzo almost gave an exemplary release of the ball on the floor, but it was sufficient enough for Rona Lloyd to say, well, I'm going to turtle you, flip you over, and reveal the ball. And there it was for Emma Orr to pick up and finish. Combining well, having nudged that ball into the backfield, seeing that nobody was there. And now Nelson to convert. Just fading past the far upright. There is that breeze. Just perhaps kept that one out. Another chance to see Muzzo flip back. All efforts. Emma Orr, just in case you didn't know which way to go, Lisa Thompson was pointing away.
You can see the elation in their faces, that sigh of relief that they've managed to get on the scoreboard after a really tough 20 minutes since half-time. They haven't had too many opportunities to capitalise on, but they've capitalised on that one there.
Inside. Discuss the mental fortitude of this Scotland team. If Stephen Benitez might take that quickly, but obviously it's a side that have had their fair share of losses over the past couple of years, then on a better run of results from WXV and through the start of this Guinness Women's Six Nations. And I guess the important thing for this squad is to not let that England result completely deter that belief. And so if you find yourself in a bit of a tight contest, it's which thought's going to creep in first, isn't it? So that score for Scotland could just be doing all sorts of positivity for their belief that they are going to get back to believing that wins are possible again.
Yes, absolutely, and again, you could see it on their faces, but they now need to keep switched on, and I think that's what being in Tier 2 of WXV really did. They allowed those close games.
Good work from Rachel Malcolm, combining with McGee there, wanted it back, but it wasn't quite able to work. Now there's a penalty advantage.
Just a penalty.
But Amber Dunstan on the far side has
Blue 11, high tackle.
Gone against Granzotto.
We're on inside
so Scotland will have another penalty, and while they talk about a positive on a positive, 11. If they can get their way into the Italian 22. Also wonder in terms of game management.
No, that's all good.
Conversion at this point will put it beyond a converted try. So that also might need to creep into the thoughts of the Scots as to how they manage this result over the line.
Yeah, but there'll have to be some carefully considered plans on what to opt for, but the line-out's been working well so far, so it'll be good to see getting that little bit closer to the try line. And I think we've seen a different speed with Myra McDonald now coming on, so it'll be interesting to see how the go-forward goes in the 22 and the opportunities that arise from the speed of ball that she'll bring.
14.4 metres to go to the line. Skeldon into the April sunshine in Parma.
Sack is good.
Great take from
Sack
Donaldson.
is good. Use it.
Referee's happy enough that it's been brought down legally, so Skeldon knows she had to break. Scotland reloading again. Macmillan, superbly driven back by Maurice, but it's still there. Gallagher.
Release.
Trying to wrestle her way through. McDonald sends it on. Thompson under the shadow of the posts. It's there with the skipper. Rachel Malcolm. There was no way through that time. Skeldon again. Scotland looking to maintain the belief, looking to bounce back from that loss against England, to keep the dreams of third alive, to keep Rugby World Cup qualification alive. That's what's at stake in terms of a third place finish. Then it's there for Skeldon once more.
No, leave it!
Helen Nelson stands outside, sends it for Rowley. Sophia Stefan did well to shoot up and get hold of the Scottish fullback. Now it's there for Orr. It's a bounce pass that will find Lloyd. Wasn't the tidiest, and Scotland well driven back, but now they're the penalty advantage. Rachel McLaughlin.
Got the advantage now.
Leah Bartlett. McDonald had to go digging for that one. Now Nelson. Orr on for Rowley. Rowley stepping back in behind. Rigoni. Chloe Rowley for Scotland. Scores her 20th try, bringing up 100 points for her country. But have Scotland wanted one more than that for a while? Could that be the daylight that sees Scotland dispatch Italy in Parma? They'll certainly hope so. But it was patient from the visitors.
Yeah, it was patient. You could see them. They pulled the trigger when they needed to out the back there. That was a brilliant handoff from Chloe Rowley to get that space on the outside. Again, we spoke about her evasion, the silky hips, the smoothness of her running style, and she's managed to break the line there. I would say Scotland made it difficult there. Again, you could see with some of the carries, we need a bit more intent, we need go forward. Scotland are perhaps anticipating the hit a bit too early and starting to go to deck or going into the contact with the collision slightly at an angle. Again, that causes you to get less meters in the carry. When actually head down, power through, get that leg drive, then it'll be much easier to then fling that ball and make that ball easier to get it out wide.
Voice of Jade Conkle, who's alongside us, as Scotland open up a 10-point gap now then. Nelson, they'll try and add a couple more. Not quite that time. In the meantime, Fiona McIntosh has come on, who made her debut last week for a second score. It's a good read of Rigoni's hips as well. Rigoni slightly overcommitted on that outside. And change for Italy. Lucia Guy has come onto the field as well, replacing Saraceno.
Use it!
McDonald. Box kick.
Advantage, knock on.
Knocked on by Italy.
Leave it blue, leave it blue!
Sensible option from McDonald, given the sunshine over on that side. It's going to come to a Scotland scrum.
So you can't, when you're going to go to box kick, you can't dummy, because that's actually a free kick against you, okay?
Just hearing from the ref there, having a word with Marriott McDonald about dummying that box kick. I think she went to go and kick it, but then Rachel McLachlan's pulled across to be that blocking line, because you could see Duca wanting to come through and charge down like we've seen earlier in the game, so perhaps just hesitated slightly on the kick.
And now a change for Italy, leaving the field, Francesca Scorbini, and a super moment for Isabella Locatelli, a 50th cap for the 29-year-old from Colonna. Scorbini makes way. What a proud moment for Isabella Locatelli and her family, no doubt.
We've got Locatelli and Frederici now both on the pitch. Two great options in the line-out. Both got 3 line-out steals apiece, so they're going to be causing a lot of disruption to Scotland's line-out, which has been successful so far, but there's going to be that little bit extra pressure breathing down their necks on those opportunities that Scotland may get from the line-out.
That's why that's their breakaway. So from our point of view, we still feel like they're attacking the lifters as well as
Yeah, I'll come to the front when we get down there.
Italy need to be the next ones to score if they're to have any effect on the result of this game. As it stands, Scotland moving themselves into that 3rd position. A loss would push Italy down to 5th behind Ireland.
Crouch! Bind!
Got another round of the Guinness Women's Six Nations to go.
Set!
How much movement results in round 4 could affect. McDonald goes with the quick tap from the free kick at the scrum, and Thompson on the right shoulder of Nelson grabs a few key meters. Malcolm will be very happy to spend the next 8 or 9 minutes carrying gently into the heart of the Italians, but Scotland will know that there's a little bit more in this.
Use it!
They continue to play. McDonald. Should be careful she doesn't try the referee's patience in terms of that timing. It's down for Ostuni Manuzzi, well taken by the fullback. Skeldon went in to try and affect the turnover, but sufficient clear out. Stefan, almost the whole of the Italy squad coming back to reload on this side, and it's a really good take. Oh, it's a really great run from Sara Tunasi in uncharted waters, really. Volume goes up around the Stadio Sergio Lanfranchi. Medea doesn't know where she's off to. Now there's a penalty advantage for Italy, and they have a little bit more shape now. Duca into the double tackle of Scotland, which is effective and needed to be.
New advantage, not rolling.
There's another advantage against Scotland. Ball over the top, Granzotto gives chase. Lloyd in the backfield. Nothing will come of that. Always the lottery of the bounce of the oval ball. But Italy now have the position in the middle of the field.
One here, one over there.
They are going to need more than a converted try. Do they consider eating into that scoreboard and taking 3 points now?
You can see Rachel McLaughlin making that tackle there, but she's rolled north to south, south to north there, and you need to be going left to right. You can't allow to be rolling into the ball carrier, because that is an easy penalty to give away.
So there's the decision. It is going to be for posts. They're going to need the 3 points. You would expect at some point, if they're to build their way to a try between now and the 80th minute. So I think it's good game management.
Definitely, and I think Italy will have learned from WXV when they had the opportunity to go for posts with a couple minutes to go against the United States, but they didn't opt for it, and ultimately that allowed Scotland to then overtake them on the scoreboard because they came away with not a bonus point.
Brigoni didn't want to hang around. They need all of the seconds on that clock. Italy get up to 10, reduce the deficit to 7.
Game management from Scotland here is going to be interesting. They're going to want to park them down in their 22. They're going to want to kick long and park them there and stop them, or make it really, really difficult for Italy to get out of their 22 and actually get the ball back further down the field.
Lana Skeldon making way as Alice Martin comes onto the field.
Subs complete.
Skeldon, who loves scoring against Italy, she's got another one today. Ninth cap for Martin, the Leicester Tiger. Lisa Thompson. Scotland have to maintain resolute focus. Getting this one over the line. Italy are a team that love to come alive in the final quarter of a test match.
Tackle, release!
Brian Eason and this Scotland side will be all too aware of that.
The ball's out.
Stefan did not use the ball when it was clearly out. Gallagher went for it, questioned it with a referee who was in complete agreement. Now it's away for Bartlett. Then Nelson. Now Thompson. Sensing that Medea was tiring and perhaps to attack the Italian fly half on the occasion of her 50th cap. Rachel Malcolm. Really Very good tackle from Tunisi. She has been everywhere. Thompson trying to use the tin opener and force a way through. Isabella Locatelli. Martin. Nelson. Through Bartlett. Mitchell Malcolm. Having to juggle that one above the head. McDonald really opened up for her. Finker puts her to ground. Penalty, Italy.
That was the battle of the nines there in that collision. You've seen Sophia Stefan, she read it well. She's seen Mary McDonald pick through, but she was there to stop her dead.
Elisa Dinka may have had a shift of position for this match, but she's certainly shown some interventions and moments that have been hugely important. And we can now see the award of the Guinness Women's Six Nations Player of the Match, and it's gone to the Scotland hooker, Lana Skeldon, picking up the gong. There is still some running left in this match for Italy, though. And it's Tunisi with another key carry. Medea. Oh, dear. She has just lost her way slightly. And Ostuni Minuzzi needs somebody to give Italy some go forward. Stefan opts to go aerial. Rowley was comfortably positioned. Shapes to kick, opts to run. Chloe Rowley, brilliant from the fullback. Up to the Italian 22. Completely caught Italy cold. Thompson finding a bit of room down the short side, but all loses it in the process. And in fact steps on the touchline. How about that from Chloe Rowley, though?
Just breathtaking stuff. We've seen the threat she has in attack. That was a brilliant line there. Again, she's received it. She's got actual communication from Rachel Malcolm saying where the space is, and she just goes for it, head down. Again, you see that hip movement, and she just makes great yards. And Italy are now camped in their 22, which is exactly where Scotland are going to want to be. Seeing that lovely little dummy with the ball. Was she going to kick? No, she chooses to run for it, and a brilliant run and great gain line that she's bringing to the squad.
One.
She's certainly making the metres for Italy. Tunisia is as well. She's crossed 100 metres now, 105 metres for 12 carries. She's also made 16 tackles. Marcel Shark's second row, been putting herself about. Fran McGee's made 106 metres for Scotland.
I think Lisa Thompson has also been fantastic for Scotland. She's been everywhere. She's had a lot of opportunities, and she's created lots of opportunities as well. All the unseen work that you don't necessarily always spot, but she's been everywhere today, and I think Lisa Thompson's been incredible.
I'll let you match, okay? I'll put time on when we're there. No, not yet. Yep, you're good, and you keep them on you. This is the issue.
You can see how delighted. Again, she picked up a little injury in the France game. She missed the France game, picked up an injury, and it's good to see her back in full form.
Okay, advantage. Okay. Got the advantage, Blue?
Going against Leah Bartlett, who's changed the bind in this maul. Italy might want that whistle to blow so they can get on with it and try and kick their way down the touchline.
17 entry.
Entry by Leah Bartlett there at the maul. It's an easy penalty to give away, and really frustrating when there's 2.5 minutes on the clock, and all Scotland need to do is keep Italy camped in their 22. That was a really easy get out, and one, of course, Italy are going to capitalise on with a brilliant kick downfield by Rigoni.
Nervous faces. Sardasea watches on. Job done. Leading tackler for the Italians with 20. Scotland 13 line-outs one. Italy will hope to win their 12th here at an important moment, and they do. Stefan for Medea. Arrighetti just looked like she was cruising, but suddenly came off their foot and up the pace and the power. Granzotto, a little bit of footwork from the youngster. Stefan temporarily late there, but eventually does arrive as Fadrighi carries. Medea into the middle, Lucia Guy. So good against France in that last 10-15 minutes. Medea. Ostuni Minuzzi in that wide channel, 90 seconds on the clock. Can Italy do anything to deny Scotland the victory here? Oh, what a take that was from Medea. Wasn't the easiest of balls back. It almost got lost on its way. Italy desperately need to find the extra metres. Oh, and they've lost it. And Rachel Malcolm snaffled it up, and it's back with the Scots. There's nobody at home down this side for Italy as they put the pressure on Emma Orr in possession. Into the final minute. McDonald for Ellis Martin. Gets the ship on really nicely for Bartlett.
Okay.
But we've got an Italy penalty.
Dangerous clean out. 15.
Dangerous clear out from Chloe Rowley there. I think it's been picked up on the TMO or perhaps the touchline. You could see not quite a turtle roll, but on that scale of just coming in at a funny angle and flipping her off the ball.
15.
Well, our foul play review officer is Ian Tempest. He will be in communication with Maggie Cogger-Orr. As you say, it may have been something that came in down on the touchline, whether it was Natasha Ganley.
18 seconds.
Likely, but it may well have been Ian Tempest, and we have 18 seconds on the clock.
Okay, I'm going to come to you. So we're checking the clean out by 15 white.
And you're absolutely right. They are now going to have a look at this one as Beatrice Rigoni will stand over the ball and wait to kick the penalty. But it's going to be the clear out from Chloe Rowley that we're looking at, and that Maggie Cogger-Orr has sprinted to the big screen in the corner of the stand, in the corner of the ground, to have a look at as well.
Didn't look great in real time, so it'll be interesting to see it in the slow motion angles.
Certainly, obviously, 15 has lifted her above the horizontal. For me, at a minimum, this is going to meet the yellow card threshold. So I'm at yellow card, and I think we refer this to the foul play review officer.
Yeah, just watch this one angle, so reverse angle, just to see where she lands, just to confirm that. Okay. This is your best angle for the landing point.
Okay.
TMO Dan Jones.
Yeah. Perfect. So I'm seeing that certainly as a yellow card threshold. So it's 15, and we're actually already on the original mark. Is that correct?
I agree.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
So Ian Tempest, our foul play review officer. Dan Jones is our TMO, just for clarity.
Okay.
And he's the man who's worked with Maggie Cogger-Orr there. And it sounds like we're going to get
Rachel.
a bunker review.
Rachel and 15. Rachel and 15. Okay, so it's a dangerous clean out. She's landed on her shoulder area, so it's a minimum of a yellow card, and it's going to go to the bunker.
Well, an acknowledgement of apology from Chloe Rowley. She will spend the rest of the match off the field regardless, obviously. It will go for bunker review. Minimum yellow. It'll be up to Ian Tempest as to whether that's upgraded further, but in the meantime, Rigoni, she'll want every metre into that 22. Big moment. Can Italy build their way to a score and steal a draw under the noses of this Scotland side? Right out, oh, it's just been knocked on. The clock is in the red, and that will be a memorable win for Scotland. They've not won in Italy this century. Not for 25 years, not since 1999. They've also not won back-to-back away wins in the Guinness Women's Six Nations Championship since 2006. Records tumble in Parma as Scotland bounce back from their loss to England and find a way to win. 2 tries from player of the match Lana Skeldon and Chloe Rowley, who finishes the match off the field to the score, and 5 points from the boot of Rigoni. Dinka with that try. Italy 10, Scotland 17. The full-time score in Parma.